Hey guys, it's Vikram Raya with Limitless MD. I want to talk to you about the 5 things that have helped me take one of my clients to quadruple his clinic revenue.
What if you could reclaim hours of free time each week, create legacy building wealth, and devote more energy to your passion projects without giving up on your career as a life-saving MD? My name is Vikram Raya, functional cardiologist, high performance coach, and real estate expert. And I'm here to give you the tools, strategies, and solutions you need to transform your life so you can unlock your limitless potential and achieve greatness, all the while freeing up your precious time. Welcome to Limitless MD. Let's dive in.
So it's really into 3 phases. So phase 1 was the 5 things I want to talk about. One is tracking his clinical visits. Number 2 is getting powerful leads as sources for his clients. Number 3 is presidential marketing, which I'm going to explain. Number 4 is like getting ancillary services that refer patients to him, such as ZocDocs and Thumbtack and things like that. And number 5 is referrals and reviews. All right. So, and then I'll talk about phase 2, which is marketing. Phase 3, which is again, leverage, growth, and scale of the clinic. So let's get into it, guys. So my client is a coaching, he's a coaching client, been a longstanding coaching client of mine. He's a DO and also practices acupuncture as well in New York City. And for a while, he was trying to being a coach to other physicians. Then he was trying to have this clinic. Then he was trying to do an online clinic, and then he was trying to do home visits. It was really, a little bit all over the place. And then finally, he just started narrowing down, focusing. And we finally got him to where he wants to have a sort of a concierge boutique practice in Manhattan. And that's what he wants to focus all his energies on. And so that's number 1, choosing one thing to put all your energies on. Until you hit $1 million of revenue in whatever you're doing, whatever business you're in, you need one channel, one avatar, one offer, and sort of one business model, right? That's it. And then once you hit 1 million, then you're allowed to change, you're allowed to switch, you're allowed to, add other service lines, other products, things like that. So what are the first 5 things I really did after we got him to focus? The first 5 things we did were really tracking his clinical visits. So, he was not really, he wanted to grow, but it was not very specific. So what you track, you improve upon, you measure, you'll grow. So it's really what gets tracked, then you sort of have a scorecard. So we started tracking his clinical visits. What that meant is how many visits was he having a week? And we reverse engineered. Okay, so based on his revenue goal, how many visits does he need to hit his revenue goal? So that's what we did. And then instead of making it an annual thing, we made it a monthly thing. So for example, he needs to have like a certain 50 clinical visits, in the month of January. So then he needs to have about 11 to 12 a week. So now he knows exactly the target he needs to hit. So having that specificity, that granularity really helped him focus, use his energies wisely, and then go after it. Next is, where are all the leads coming from? Where are his new patients coming from? And so we noticed that most of them, 80%, were coming from 3 places. It was a practitioner who was no longer practicing. He was shutting down his clinic, and all those patients were looking for a new practitioner. And that practitioner seemed to know my client well, and he started referring to my client. So that's great. Number 2 was he was sharing office space with another practitioner who was semi-retired, and she was giving a lot of her clinic patients to him. And number 3 was he was noticing that many of the people who were getting manipulations done through his osteopathy work as well as acupuncture were also seeing like a Pilates instructor or seeing certain other types of practitioners out there. So once we noticed that, we sort of doubled down. So we took, people out to dinner. We formalized the relationship more. We did reciprocity. We, said thank you for sending us these patients and love to send more. I gave feedback on how those patients were doing to the people who referred. So then that was further solidified. And then he started doing what we call presidential marketing. So presidential marketing is essentially, when a president's running for office, he kisses babies, he shakes hands, he waves. And what that means is he's going and consistently meeting people in the grassroots. So it's called grassroots marketing essentially. And so what I suggested to him was, who else has your clients? And so he's having very affluent people who are coming for this kind of wellness, some manipulation, things like that, structural work, and they're paying like $400 to $500 per session. So it's a certain type of client. And so he's now starting to go to spas, wellness centers, massage locations, Pilates, really upscale Pilates places, juicing bars, and he's going to start doing master classes there. And in return, and also to support the businesses he's doing this at, he'll buy like discounts or gift cards for like the first 50 people who come to the master class on whatever he's teaching on. He'll also buy discount cards for them. So they attend the event at this venue. Like, let's say it's a juice bar. He buys, juices for the first 10, 15 people there. The juice bar's happy. He's able to sort of share his knowledge. The juice bar is already advertised on his behalf. And so they have maybe 15, 20, 30, 45 people there. And at the end of it, he can pass out, discounts to get their first free service at his clinic. And so it's a win-win situation. So that's what presidential marketing is. This grassroots marketing is really effective. It's really powerful. And I've used it myself to help blow up my clinic, Vitology Institute, when I was growing that. So that's number 3. Number 4 is these referral services that can funnel patients into your practice. One is ZocDocs. The second could be Thumbtack. The third could be Yelp. And all these places essentially have a marketplace or a platform where people search for your service. When they see your reviews, or they see your availability, they're able to book an appointment with you. And then finally, it's asking your patients, who do you know that might benefit from this service? Who else might benefit from this? Or who else do you know who would take advantage of these kind of services? How else can we help more people, right? By asking that to every single one of your patients, you have a chance, an opportunity to serve, their friends. These are warm leads coming in, and the high likelihood they're going to move forward, because if Susie's already done it and Susie's best friend hears about it from Susie, then Susie's best friend's going to do it too. And finally, reviews, right? We've bumped up his Google reviews and whatever other platforms he's doing his reviews on. So instead of having like 20 or 30 reviews, he's having hundreds of reviews. So now, by doing all these things, he's growing his clinic exponentially. That's phase 1. Now phase 2 is now marketing. So that's all organic. If he starts including paid marketing, so with SEO, which is search engine optimization. So if he has blogs or, articles being done or videos, that's, when people search for acupuncture or osteopathy, New York City or Manhattan, his name's going to come up quicker. Then we can start, we rebranded his website a little bit. We got him to get new headshots. His headshots were like, outdated. He had lost a significant amount of weight since his previous headshot. So we want to show him in a more attractive way. We got a new logo that was very sophisticated and it was very engaging. He's going to create a lead magnet where, here's seven ways where acupuncture can help you have more energy or something like that. So that's exciting. And then now he's getting some of his super fan clients are going to start giving him, video testimonial, which will be posted on his website. So that's phase 2. And then finally, phase 3, we started talking about how to do LGS, one of my favorite things: leverage, growth, and scale. So how do you do that? Well, you got to think about what the end game is. So he's right now a solopreneur in a, sort of a boutique concierge practice, but he really needs to get a front desk, right? He really needs to get an integrator. If he's the visionary, he's sort of the practitioner and he's also the visionary. He needs an integrator, the person who can help start implementing all the business practices that need to happen, be sort of a practice manager at the same time and sort of run this practice. And then finally, if he wants to really grow, he needs a second practitioner. Perhaps it's a nurse practitioner. Perhaps it's a physician assistant. Perhaps, it's someone who can do, maybe it's a naturopath doctor, but basically maybe they could do some of the things he's doing. So then because he only has a certain amount of slots available. And if he's doing 30-minute appointments or 45-minute appointments, At some point, he gets maxed out. He's the bottleneck. So by getting another practitioner, then he can double his output. And so this is how you can grow, get your practice to 7 figures. And I've just showed you in basically 3 phases, probably about 10 to 12 steps, exactly how to create a 7-figure business. And you can do this in less than 18 months. So hopefully that was helpful, my friends. I appreciate all the reviews you're giving me. Keep giving me those 5-star reviews on the podcast channels. It helps us grow our channel and get it out to more people, more doctors who can get helped. And thank you again for all your support. And guys, until next time, be phenomenal.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Limitless MD. If you found value from this episode, I encourage you to share this episode with a friend and let me know by leaving a review. For more information, make sure you check out the links in the show notes below or simply visit vikramraya.com. So until next time, my friends, be phenomenal.